Let's go! Let's go! USA 3, France 0. The US thrashes France 3-0. And frankly, the scoreline deserved that win, guys. Goals from Brooklyn Raines, Zavier Gozo, and Marcus Zambrano, right? And we beat France 3-0 in the second game. We are more than qualified for the group stage. And frankly, we're probably going to get first. Our goal difference is now 11. 11. Oh, not this one. Keeping tabs. Raines the first team. Yup. Thanks, Yank boy. Trust keeping tabs to go too far, but very good performance by Brooklyn Raines. I think he's been one of the better players this season. I mean, this World Cup in these last two games. This is really, really good to see. Josh, you're going to have to chill or we're going to ban you here too. I know what you're doing. All right, that's it. Enough. One more from you and I'm banning you, buddy. Can't have this, okay? Really, really good game from the US. And not just the fact that we won. This wasn't a game where we sat back and hit them in transition and squeaked out, 3-0 win at the end. That second half, we completely dominated from beginning to the end. We created multiple chances. This could have been 6 or 7-0 easily. All right, Joss, you're done. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff, guys. We'll talk about it when Tat gets here more, but this was amazing. This was a really important win for this team's morale and confidence and hopefully get some people excited. Martin says, I think you might be on the wrong mic. Is anybody else hearing issues with the mic? Let me double check here. Audio. No, I'm on this one. I'm on this one right here. Should be the right mic. CAC. 3-0 over France, and frankly, a deserved 3-0, right? Like, I think we deserved that win. We were very good for that win. We should have had 5 goals in the second half, easily.
It's funny because when you talk about 3-0, one, it's hard to have a lucky 3-0 win, but if you look just at when we scored 3 goals in the last 5 minutes, but I would argue we were very wasteful throughout the game. It should have been up to the 85th minute. We should have been up 2-0. It would have been a fair result.
Yeah.
So honestly, it could have been a game where we beat them 4-5-0. It could have been a lot worse for France. And overall, there's a ton of positives, some surprises actually. Zavier Gozo off the bench was quite a surprise. Even Zambrano came to life. Not just a goal, but even before we start talking about players, to me, probably the player that looked the best to me was Josh Winder.
Oh yeah. Josh Winder was excellent today.
Commanding
that
on
chance that he set up for Westfield was incredible. And even that goal where Nolan Norris thought it was going out and he was trying to let it run and he saw in advance that it was not going to go out. And so he came and made the tackle before they scored. He did a lot of really good stuff today.
But just even with the ball, just so comfortable, very Of course, this is the U20 level. We have to see him against a grown man. But he looked like the better player on the field. He looked like that.
I also thought Brooklyn Raines was very good once again. He was also very good against New Caledonia. That second goal, he won the ball himself, right? He won the ball, dished it to Gozo, and then made the run. And that's not an easy finish, by the way. The French the keeper came out and narrowed the angle, and he had to curl it around him and into the far corner. A lot of players either shoot that straight at the keeper, or they try to chip the keeper, or they freak out and they end up blasting it.
No, he adjusted his body very well to finish it. It was good.
Yeah, it was a really calm finish. A really, really good win. And frankly, a cause for some excitement. Not that the thing we said about this team before we came into this World Cup is they might not have any like stars or players that you're like, that's a really high ceiling player. But maybe they played really well together.
Maybe Winder.
Winder could be. Yeah, Winder could be, but not many, right? Maybe we'll see how Kramaski develops. The good thing about all these guys, and compared to the French team, because this is not France's A team, right? I looked at a lot of the French players. Most of them have very little pro experience, maybe 100 minutes or 200 minutes for their French clubs this season. So some, but not a ton. Whereas every single one of these guys does have pro experience, with the exception of maybe Ethan Kohler and Adam Beaudry, who don't really. But everybody else on this team is playing at least in MLS at the pro level. So credit where credit is due. We also out-hustled France this whole game. From the beginning to the end, we were constantly chasing, harassing, pressing. Made them really, really good team. Zidane's son is a tree trunk out there.
Yeah, so the Zidane playing is actually Zidane's youngest son.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's a good defender.
Because I thought it was like, I remember the name. There's Enzo Zidane, the guy that they try to shove in Real Madrid. That didn't work out. This one
Yeah.
plays for Real Betis is U19s.
Yeah. So guys, be excited. Be excited. I hope this gets a lot of people haven't been that excited about this under-20 World Cup, and understandably so. The state of things has not been great. And also, you know, if you look at the roster, there's not a lot of stars, but they play really well together. And Josh Winder so far has been excellent. It was so hard to tell what our defense looked like against Caledonia.
I'm still concerned about Baudry.
Yeah, I'm concerned about
There
Baudry
was a
too.
save that was a very easy shot, and he almost let it go in. And I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" And the issue with that is if we play a team that's a bit better, not that France is not good, but this is not their best players, and they start getting a few shots on target, and let's say we're wasteful up top like we were for 80 minutes in this game, the goalkeeper might not save us. That's the only concern I have for us going forward, is that the goalkeeper looked bad in the first game where he shouldn't have, and they looked bad again today, even though he didn't concede a goal.
We have to switch to Gavin Beavers. I can't see us going to South Africa with him. And also, because the South Africa game is kind of a dead rubber game, it allows Gavin Beavers to play his first game without a ton of pressure. And I think we have to ride him the rest of the tournament. It's too risky to go with this Baudry kid. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't look like he's in a good place mentally. I think that mistake from the first game has definitely affected him. Caleb says, great result. Most of our guys played extremely well. I'd argue everybody except Baudry actually played well.
I thought Campbell was...
Maybe Campbell. Yeah, Campbell might need to be benched. Oh, credit to Luke Brennan. That was a really nice cross for the header for what's his name? Gozo. Yeah, for Gozo. Raines, Winder, Habroon, Westfield. Yeah, Westfield was really good. He was involved in a lot of the attacks. I was mostly happy with Nolan Norris, except for that one decision that he made to let the ball run when it was clearly not going out, and Winder had to come and bail him out. But yeah, really, really impressive so far.
We also gave France like no goal scoring opportunities. The shots we're talking about where Baudry was a bit shaky, it wasn't a good shot.
No, it was a shot from distance.
It's just Baudry made it look like a good shot.
At Baudry. Yeah, Baudry made it look better than it was. And then the one at the beginning was, that was really the only good chance France had, and they shot it straight at Baudry. Josh Winder is as close to USMNT ready as we have on this level. That's probably true. I wouldn't argue USMNT.
Norkai Banks at this level.
Yeah, of the guys who played today, I think Lou is right. But look, we haven't seen him play any professional minutes yet. We have to see. I mean, he's played in USL, right? But before we start calling for USMNT call-up, we need to see what he looks like at the pro level. Same with Banks, right? Banks has at least been playing for the first team. The problem for Winder is that he's playing for Benfica B. And he's got a lot of, for Benfica B. He's not with the first team. I wonder if they're smart, maybe they should loan him out. Because maybe he's not ready for Benfica's first team, but maybe loan him out somewhere.
He's a center back. Loan him to a lower table Portuguese team. Let him play.
That's what I mean.
He'll be tested.
That's what I mean. Loan him out there, or maybe even loan him to like a Dutch team like Rotterdam, or even like Excelsior. One of these guys that could use maybe a good center back or an up and coming center back, but doesn't have the money to get one. Because I think we need to see what he looks like with some pro experience. But it's good to see, because center back is one of our big problems with the senior team, right? We don't have enough quality center backs coming through. So even if all we get out of this U20 World Cup is a really good center back for the national team down the line, that'll be worth it. That'll be worth it for that alone. But yeah, that was really, really good to see from Josh Winder. Damn. I would remember before the first goal, I was thinking, man, we really botched this opportunity. We could have won the game. And it'll be really disappointing if we didn't, with the chances that we missed. But then in the end, once that goal went in, that first goal that we scored, I knew they were going to crumble, because the French had been fighting it out for so long. It just demotivates you to concede a goal in the 85th minute, And then we added the two more, and well deserved. And I hope it's a confidence boost for both Zambrano and Gozo, because we're going to need it going into the knockout rounds. Would you say there's a good chance now we finish first in the group?
Well, I mean, France beat South Africa.
Yeah. So South Africa has 3 points. France has 3 points.
We need a draw.
I mean, I'm saying South Africa has 3 points if they beat Caledonia, which they will, probably. So you're talking about 3-3-6-0 by the end of
We
today.
could lose to South Africa and still finish first, depending on the
Yeah.
goal difference. Maybe like South Africa will play New Caledonia today. We got to hope they beat them by like 5-0, 6-0, something like that.
Yeah, nothing too high.
That way, even if we lose, because I mean, look, what matters at the end of the day is like the knockout rounds we need to go through. So I wouldn't mind if he decided to rest and test a few players.
Like Gozo could play against South Africa because he only played 20
yeah,
minutes
but
today.
maybe rest Kramaski, who looked a bit gassed.
Shakiris came off early enough. I would start him again. So Shakiris came off in the 57th.
And one thing to say is our players already rested quite a bit against New Caledonia because we started to go easy in the second half. And we have the luxury of also being allowed to rest them in the third game. So that could pay dividends later. We could rest our players. They'll have more, we won't have tired legs in the round of 16, quarterfinals, unlike other teams, right? Like Mexico's group, for example, is very tough. They're all having to play very tough games. We had an easy game. We had a lighter game now. Oh, that
All right,
Josh
Joss
Greg.
is on permanent. I've already banned him once. I put him in a timeout. You're on a permanent ban, buddy. Sorry, you're ruining the chat here. It's not okay. Sorry, go ahead, Tack.
No, what I was saying is, unlike other groups, we got a somewhat apparently easy group. I don't want to say that, but easy to an extent that we kind of rested our players in the first game, and we can rest them again in the last game. Like Kramaski, I wouldn't put him to put no minutes, but against South Africa, maybe play 30. Play 30
Have him
minutes.
play the
And
last 30 minutes.
yeah, Brooklyn Raines too. He played most of the minutes last game and this game, so have him play
Rest him.
30.
Let
Rest
Pedro
them.
Soma start. We'll
Yeah,
talk a little bit
exactly.
about how to approach the South Africa game. I would also rest Frankie Westfield because he played 90 both games. Antonio Yacht. I hope Winder doesn't end up being the next EPB. Well, he could be, right? Like, look, there's no guarantee that just because you do well at the U20 level that you're going to be a good pro. Case in point, Sebastian Soto. Case in point, David Ochoa, right? Case in point, Alex Mendez. There are a lot of guys that will play well here that you're Paxton Pomacall is another one. But usually with all the under-20 World Cups, there are 2 or 3 players that are good enough to make the senior team and be real contributors, right? Last time in 2023, I guess really just Diego Luna so far has come out of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, he's not exactly a guy who's a major contributor at the senior level. But if you look at 2019, Weah, Richards, and Dest, those 3 were excellent. If you look at 2017, Tyler Adams, and Josh Sargent were there. So you hope at least 1 or 2 guys from this group have enough quality to be a really good player in the long run for the senior team. So we'll just have to wait and see. But definitely in terms of toolkits, Winder has the toolkits to be a really good center back. The only thing he's missing, which doesn't matter too much, is the height. I think he's 6'1". So he might be missing some elite height, but what he misses in height, he makes up for with his quality on the ball, his reading of the game. His reading of the game is excellent. He never looks too pressured. If you notice that, he always makes the right decision. He sees plays as they're developing, and he's a good leader from the back. So really happy to see that for Josh Winder. Hopefully he could, even if he becomes a Chris Richards one day, that would be amazing. We should put the caveat here.
Just
for
one
not
thing,
everybody knows.
6 foot tall is also not short for a center back. It's pretty okay.
It's shorter than most center backs that are 6'3", 6'4", at least 6'2", right? But Cannavaro is 5'8", right? So you can make up for it. We should qualify this. It is not France's A team, right? If this was France's A team, you're talking about at least 6 or 7 players missing that are getting pro minutes at the high level.
No, more, Pete, more. The full starting 11, yeah.
The full starting 11, fair. But you know what? You can only beat who's in front of you. And if we had played France's full team, would we have lost? Yes, probably. But it's okay. I mean, it's France's B team at best. But we looked better than them. So you could argue we're somewhere between France's A team and B team. That's literally what you can argue here.
Well, I would say this team possibly could try to pull a draw with France's A team if we had a good goalkeeper.
Yes.
If we had a good goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper would have to make a few saves, but I thought we defended well enough where if we completely gave up on attacking and we were a bit even more compact and deeper, we could fight for a draw against France's A team with these players. Not with Baudry, though.
No. Jam Floman saying, but we'd have Freeman and Banks and Cochin. So Freeman is not U20 eligible. Freeman is almost 22 years old. So he's not eligible. But Banks for sure and Cochin for sure would make this team a lot.
Or Icestone.
Or Julian Icestone. But Cochin would be our best. Honestly, if you have Cochin and then your center back pair is Banks and Winder, you could ride defense for a while, you know?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that we could have played against France's A team and gone for a draw. I think that could have happened.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And anyways, what this team is doing, and credit to Mitrovic for this, they're playing greater than the sum of their parts, right? None of these guys are guys that are like elite, going to be elite players necessarily, maybe one or two. But they're outplaying themselves in the sense that they're playing greater than each of their individual talent allows for, and that's a good game plan. And Mitrovic kind of failed at the Olympics. So maybe he's learned some lessons, and I think he got the starting lineup spot on today, and his substitutions were good, right? I mean, how many of the subs were involved in the goals? Luke Brennan got an assist, Gozo got a goal and an assist, and Zambrano got a goal, right? So 4 of the 6 goal contributions came from his subs. So it's awesome to see. It's really, really awesome to see. And frankly, this program could use some excitement, like especially after the roster dropped today, which wasn't terrible, but also we're still calling up Agyemang and Roldan. It's exciting to see. Frankie Westfield and Nolan Norris really impressed me. They really did, especially Frankie Westfield on both sides of the ball. He was a huge, huge difference maker today. And now we go into South Africa, knowing we're already qualified. We could lose 25-0 to South Africa. We're still qualified. We have 6 points, right? And we have 11. 11 is our goal difference, right? 3 plus 8. Yeah, because we won 9-1. So our goal difference is 11.
We gave New Caledonia a goal.
Baudry handed it to them. So I'd say it's very likely that we're going to get first because we could still lose to South Africa and get first.
Yeah, now, we got to see the South Africa New Caledonia. If they beat New Caledonia 10-0, then they only need like a 1-0 win against us, right? No. If they beat them 11-0, then they only need to beat us.
Yeah, they only need to beat us. But Caledonia might not be as bad in the second game, right? They might have learned a few things. That was like their first game at this level.
They might be worse.
It could also be worse. I'm excited though. I'm excited to cover this group now because, it was like, okay, Caledonia, you can't really tell. And we said, let's see how we look against France. And it's not the 3-0 win. It's the way we played against France that really impressed me. We kept them out of our goal. They had one chance, really. One good chance this whole game. Guacamole United says goal difference isn't the first tiebreaker. Can you check that out, Tack?
What did he say?
He said goal difference isn't the first tiebreaker. So it could be the team that, like, head-to-head. Is there any way to check that out?
I'll check it
out. Guacamole United, do you have a link on that so we can check that out? He's saying it's head-to-head.
I'll check.
So then if South Africa beats us at all, then, yeah, it would go down to head-to-head. Although France, it'll be tough because France also is going to beat New Caledonia, right? So then if we lose to South Africa, all 3 of us will have 6 points. So that'll be an interesting one. So there's still a chance. Is there still a chance we could get third? No, because we beat France.
So, Pete, according to Fox Sports, so I'm going to Fox Sports, how do tiebreaker works in World Cup group stage? It's group points.
World Cup or Under-20 World Cup? Because they might have different rules.
This is the World Cup.
Yeah, that's the World Cup.
So the U20.
I mean, we're definitely in the next round. There's no question about that. But how does it work if all 3 teams have 6 points? Because France would beat South Africa, we beat France, but then South Africa beat us. So how does that head-to-head work then?
Oh, here it is. So the U20 World Cup. Now I have it. It's points, goal difference, goal scored, goal difference in all group matches. So essentially it's going to be goal difference or goal scored.
So it is goal difference, just to clarify, guys. And that's important, which means we have to hope South Africa only beats New Caledonia like 5-0. Because remember, South Africa's -1. We have 11. So to jump ahead of us in goal difference right now, they would have to score at least 10 goals, right? Oh, no, they would have to score 11 goals, 12 goals. They would have to score 12 goals on Caledonia, which is possible based on what we saw. It's definitely possible. So Daniel Toscano here. Pete, could you tell me who could possibly be elite for the U17? So, Daniel, we are going to cover the Under-17 World Cup the same way that we cover this one. We're going to do the same thing, live watch-alongs and then post-games. Right now, if you look at the Under-17s, the two biggest prospects are Mathis Albert and Cavan Sullivan, okay? Then there are some interesting prospects, Julian Hall, Maxi Carrizo, Jonathan Shore, Ian James at center back, Christopher Cups over at center back for the Chicago Fire, and Ian Applewhite. So you have and Pedro Guimarães, who's at 16 is already playing in USL and playing very well for Orange County, scoring goals and everything. So there are some interesting prospects, but in terms of who could be elite, it's so hard to know at that age group. Sometimes you can tell. Like you could tell Gio Reyna at U17 was going to be elite, right? Mathis Albert, I'd say, is as close to our best bet. That doesn't mean he's going to be an elite player, but he's the closest to our best bet of being a pro player, because not all U17 players end up turning pro. There are lots of players who play at the Under-17 World Cup and end up never becoming a pro because it is still so young. So hard to say, but that's in November. October is U20 World Cup and the senior team games. November will be Under-17 World Cup and the senior team games. And then December, we have the World Cup group stage draw. So there's a lot to be excited about for the next couple of months. Isn't Shore an 07? Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure Jonathan Shore is an 08, but let me double check. You might be right. You might be right.
Who are you asking?
Yeah, he's an 07. You're right. He's an 07. But he's playing really well. He's just too old. You know who's another guy who's just too old for this age group is Owen Wolf, who's starting for Austin, has 14 goal contributions. He's 2 days too old for this World Cup.
2 days.
2 days. That would have been very exciting to have Owen Wolf there because he would be the best player here, at least the best attacker. I don't know if he's as good as Josh Winder, but credit to USL for developing Josh Winder. Remember, when we talk about MLS development, Josh Winder did not come from MLS. He came from USL and then he went to Benfica. So good on Louisville City.
He does need to take that next step now. It's time to start getting senior minutes.
He's 20. He needs to go somewhere where he can play. And maybe you're not ready for Benfica, and that's fine. But he needs to go somewhere where he can play. Honestly,
he might never be ready for Benfica. That's also fine, but he needs to find a team, maybe in the top 5 league or Eredivisie, somewhere to play.
I don't know top 5 league. Is he ready? That's the question. That I don't know top 5 league, but Eredivisie, Belgium even. I could see Belgium, right? Playing for a decent Belgium team. MLS, I wouldn't be so excited about Awesome Reach because with an elite player, they need to be challenged. And I think that Josh Winder should... A lot of MLS teams don't build out of the back, or if they do, they don't get pressed. So if anything, I think he needs to play somewhere where he'll actually be developed. Like he could easily go to Westerlo in Belgium and be a starter there, I think, right? Kobe Henry was also USL, yeah. Club Brugge, you never know who could take this guy. But he does need, after this World Cup, he should look maybe in January at getting a loan somewhere for the last 6 months of the season. Didn't Scally miss out on an Under-20 World Cup because he wasn't eligible because his birthday was December 3rd? Yeah, Scally is one of those that it sucks because he's 1 day too old for these World Cups. Yeah, he missed out on that Under-20 World Cup, which would have been cool to see him there. TAC. It's mostly positives, so obviously we'll start with those. I'll just start with this one. I really liked our work rate today. The pressing was very intense. Whenever we lost the ball, we would press to go win it back immediately. Like there was no delay when we would lose the ball. Every single player on this team worked really hard to win the ball back. And then if we didn't get it back right away, we dropped back into a low block very, very quickly. And that's super exciting to see because work rate plus talent equals success. Now, maybe the talent is not elite right now, but you can achieve a lot more, especially at this level. You can at least bump yourself up 1 or 2 levels through your work rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any positives from your end outside of player performances, which we'll talk
outside
about?
of like Beaudry, I didn't think he bounced back. I thought players that were poor in the last game bounced back with their performance. Outside of also, I didn't think Cole Campbell bounced back. But Zavier Gozo and Zambrano, for example, we were very concerned after the New Caledonia game of how we're going to score goals. Like these guys were not good against New Caledonia, but they came off the bench, both of them today, and were probably a big reason why we pulled off this win, right? Because despite being dominant throughout most of the game, we weren't scoring. These guys came in and the goals started to happen. So I think a big positive was the bounce back, because these are young players, right? So sometimes one bad performance early in the tournament and you can just kind of carry it on forever. Now, well, we'll talk about Beaudry and the negatives.
Yeah, when we do the player ratings, other positives. I mean, obviously getting the win is huge. Matthew Corcoran was good. Like there's just like throughout the entire thing, I think everybody contributed really well to outside of player performances, and we'll talk about that a little bit. The subs were good. We made the subs at the right time. The only other quote unquote negative I would say is some of our finishing could be better, right? If you want to look for negatives, we should have put this one probably to bed a little bit earlier, but I'm not going to sit here and poke at too many negatives in a 3-0 thrashing of France, even if it isn't their first team.
Well,
Let's talk a little bit about how we should play against South Africa, because I think we need to heavily rotate.
You want one negative? I think the only actual negative from this game is since we didn't play France's best, we should be excited about this. We just don't really know where we are in this World Cup yet, right? We don't know, like, could we make it to a semifinals? It's possible, but where is this France side, right? What is their level? We don't know this France side's level. Now, that's kind of nitpicking for a negative because, again, it still is France, and it doesn't really matter if they didn't bring their best U20s. So,
yeah, for sure. Let's talk about who we would start against South Africa, and I think we talked about rotating players. Oh, here's another positive with this team. The gap between the starting 11 and the bench players is very small, if it's there at all, right? Outside of goalkeeper, it feels like there are a bunch of guys that could come on and play well and just sort of match the level. And I think we saw that with the subs today. But I think we start Gavin Beavers in goal against South Africa, right? It's time to move on from Beaudry. He had 2 chances, didn't look good again today.
Also, along with Gavin Beavers, I would actually start 3 guys on the bench that didn't play at all today. Noah Cobb, Luca Bambino, and Pedro Soma. They didn't play at all. And since we're already qualified, I would actually put them in. Now, who do you rotate? You got to kind of know in camp who's...
So I've got some ideas here just based on minutes.
I mean,
you play
Westfield.
Reed Baker Whitting at right back. Give Westfield a break. You play Noah Cobb with... The problem is there's only 3 center backs.
Can't Bambino play wide?
Bambino can play wide, but you might want to give Nolan Norris a break also, because the dude has started 2 games now. So here's what I would do. I would go Reed Baker Whitting, Noah Cobb, and Ethan Kohler, because it's most important to rest Josh Winder. Ethan Kohler and Noah Cobb, and then maybe at the 45 you pull off Noah Cobb and put on pull off Kohler and put on Winder, so they only play 45 each, and you let Luca Bambino start at left back. Okay, so then in midfield I'd start Pedro Soma at the 6, give Brooklyn Raines
and rest
a break.
Brooklyn Raines.
I would still start Sakiris because he came off relatively early, and then maybe you can pull him later in that game. And I would start him together with Taha Habroon. Or maybe you could go, honestly, you could go Matthew Corcoran and Pedro Soma together in a double pivot, and then just play Taha Habroon in front of them. Rest Sakiris also. Because remember, we're trying to not lose against South Africa. If we draw against South Africa, it's not even in doubt. We're first. It doesn't matter what else happens with France. So you could play Pedro Soma and Matthew Corcoran together in midfield with Taha Habroon, because he didn't start the last game against Caledonia.
And you can also sub them out early in the second half. They don't have to.
Now, on the wing, I would give Luke Brennan a start. He got the assist today. He hasn't really played any minutes. Let's give him a start, see how he looks. And then, honestly, Gozo starts again, and you bench Cole Campbell and Peyton Miller. Bench Cole Campbell, bench Peyton Miller, and give Zambrano another start against South Africa. That's what I would do.
Yeah, they played, 30 minutes, roughly?
Yeah, 30 minutes. Zambrano didn't even... Yeah, he finished the game against...
No. Zambrano came in the 74th. He played 15. He can go 90 on the next one.
Yeah, give him 90. 30. See how he does. If he scores against South Africa, it might even help his confidence even more. And then just have Gozo and Luke Brennan start and rest a lot of our guys, and then you can rotate throughout the game as well. But I think that's important, and most important is we need to get that goalkeeper out, because that will lose you games in the knockouts. You can see the silly goal now you're fighting an uphill battle and the other team is bunkering and you can't do anything about it. Not you can't do anything, but it's much, much harder. So that's how I think we should play against South Africa. I think it's noteworthy that a lot of these guys are at a similar level. Like even when Matthew Corcoran came on, he didn't look out of place, at all.
No, but regardless, it's what we talked about. You want to keep the game tight with South Africa for long enough, and then you can send in the starters the last 30 minutes too. Yeah. But then they'll be fresh for the round of 16. And it's also good for them to get 30 minutes, right? That's not going to add fatigue or anything. It's better than practice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how we would go against South Africa. We'll see how Mitrovic does. I do think it's going to be important to rotate in this game because we do not want to go into that knockout phase. And it looks like we might play Italy, right? If we finish first.
The way it's projected now, it's Italy, yes.
It's Italy, but we'll see how that second game goes. They've only played one game over there, right?
It also depends if we finish, like I said, first or second. Yeah.
I think we beat France 3-0 and they beat South Africa 2-1. I'd say it's unlikely we can't get a draw with South Africa.
Unless New Caledonia is unpredictable. Like South Africa can beat them 15-0, and then they just need to beat us. Like they're really bad. We saw it. We could have beat them.
That's 15-0. What I mean. If with a draw we get first. So if we can't draw the South Africa team, we should be able to draw.
True.
So let's see how it goes. Should we jump into player ratings?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. So I'm giving Baudry the lowest of everybody, and that's a 3. Because he didn't have much to do, but when he did, he looked shaky.
Yeah, I don't want to overthink it too much. 3, 2, 4, just not a good performance. He was tested. The one save he made in the first half was right at him. The only credit I'll give him there is that he didn't let the ball loose. Yeah, spill it all over the ball.
That's sort of expected. That's at that level.
And then he had one more shot on target, which was a ridiculously easy. He could have probably done this and held it. Yeah. And it kind of almost slipped through his hands and almost went in. And I mean, credit to him for not passing the ball to the French player today. That kind of helps.
Yeah.
But it just, I didn't like his performance. I'll give it a 3.
Frankie Westfield, I'm giving an 8 to Frankie because I think he deserved it. He was really good. And by the way, the two fullbacks were isolated several times 1v1 with the French attackers and held their own. They didn't get beat. And he contributed a lot to the attack. Now, what did you think of Frankie Westfield's shot on target? For me, he controlled it with his arm. I think it was his arm that controlled that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it was a bad finish. That's a tough angle to finish from when the keeper had narrowed the ball and you're facing away from goal. You could argue maybe he could have passed it, but I'm not going to hold that one against Frankie Westfield.
I thought he did what he could do. He's also not a forward.
Yeah.
So it was a good run. I did not see the handball, so I was just going to say it was a good settle, but I guess if you used the handball, then that would have been disallowed maybe. But I don't think that was a mistake. I think he did what he could have. I'll go with an 8.5. I thought it was a very good performance. I don't think he got beat once the entire game.
No.
Against some pretty good athletes, right? Maybe not the best players, but athletes, and he didn't.
Yeah.
So,
Nolan Norris, you want to go first?
Maybe a little bit below Frankie Westfield. I thought he was quite good. So if it was 8, 7.5, not too much below. It was really good too.
I'll give him 7.5. The only real mistake I remember from Norris was that one time where the ball, he tried to shepherd it out and let it go, but it wasn't going to go out and the French guy was going to shoot, and then Winder had to come clean up. That was in the second.
Yeah, and he got the throw in. Yeah, but outside of that, I thought it was really good. I'll give him just a little bit below Westfield, 7.5.
Yeah. Winder gets a 9 for me. I mean, clean sheet. Got a really good chance. 0 mistakes. Even cleaned up for other people. I mean, it's as close to a 10 as you could possibly ask for from the center back.
Want a crazy stat?
Sure.
He completed 99 out of 106 passes this game. That's a lot.
Damn. For a center back.
That's almost 100 passes.
And that's not against New Caledonia. That's against France.
No, and had a chance created. Had 114 touches, which shows how much involved he was in possession. That's one thing I noticed. He would get the ball. Most of the time, his decision was right. He didn't really force a pass. When he made a long pass, it was precise. It was good. I mean, I'm looking here. 50% on his accurate long balls. He had only 3 duels. He won 2 of them. He was.
You want to know another crazy stat? We had 9 corners compared to France's 1.
Oh no, it was complete domination. The stats also of shots, right? We had 13 shots, they had 2. We had 6 big chances and we wasted 3. They had 0.
Yeah.
It wasn't close.
Well,
Like 3-0 is it could have been 4-5. That would have been fair.
yeah, very fair. Um, Trying to think. Next would be Brooklyn Raines. I'm giving Brooklyn Raines a 9. He did a lot of good work today. Cleaned up. Oh no, wait, Ethan Kohler. I'm sorry, I forgot Ethan Kohler. I'll give him an 8 as well. I think he may not have been as good on the ball as Josh Winder, but defensively solid, very
Mhm.
solid.
I'll go the same. I don't have much more to add to him.
And then I'm giving Raines a 9. Got a goal, a very nice goal, by the way, and worked his butt off for the team and was very, very clean on the ball throughout. I'm giving him a 9.
Yeah, the thing is, I'm kind of copying just your rating there because what else? I can give him a 9.5. Brooklyn Raines was good on both games, actually, quite a
Yeah,
bit. And his goal was
yeah.
nice. It was nice how he
It's
switched
a
his body
very
to
nice
support.
goal. And the fact
Um,
that he won the ball himself to start that goal, too, made it an even nicer one. Screw it.
mhm.
I'll give Raines a 10. What more can you ask for from a defensive midfielder?
A hat trick.
That a striker might need a hat trick to get a 10. But I think
Oh,
for a defensive midfielder,
yeah, I mean, look, 9, 9.5, 10. Those are all
let's go
tremendous performances.
9.5, a nice in between.
But we'll
9.5.
go, we'll go, we'll go foot mob style. How many duels did he lose?
Ah, I don't think he lost many, to be honest.
He lost.
You go first on Shakiris.
He was actually really good despite no goal contributions. I thought at
Yeah.
least every time the French player tried to push him, he actually outmuscled them many times, helped create
Well, my
chances.
favorite moment was when he took the ball down in the air while holding off the French defender, turned him, beat him on the dribble, and then set up a shot that was blocked.
He created 2 or 3 decent chances. And then he was subbed out. I'm going to give Sakidis an 8.5 despite
I'll
no
give him
goal
8.
contributions. I thought he was, I'll put it this way. I thought he was as good as Brooklyn Raines, except for he didn't get a goal contribution.
Sure, sure. I liked him a lot. I was a big fan of Sakidis after the last Under-20 World Cup, and he's had some injuries that have kind of stalled his progress, but he looks like quite a player. His younger brother is with the Under-17s now, by the way. They have another Sakidis in the family. Sean Sakidis is a former assistant coach. And then Ben Kremaski. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on Kremaski because I thought he was all right today, but did waste a chance that on watching it again, you're like, ooh, can we do better with that? And there were 1 or 2 moments. I think 7 is fair for Kremaski. I think he was involved. He tried to make things happen. Just maybe wasn't as effective as you would want him to be today.
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as calling that a wasted chance. I know the shot you're talking about. He kind of shot it at the goalkeeper. If he put it a yard wide, it would have still gone in the goal. It was still there was still space, but that was okay. It was a good run. Overall, it was Ben Kremaski, right? A lot of hustle. When he's in tight spaces, he doesn't really get out of it. He's an athlete, right? He's built like an
Yeah.
athlete, but not the best of soccer players. I think 7 is fair. It wasn't a bad performance by any means, and he did look gassed at some point in the second half too. Ben Kremaski, he looked a bit gassed.
Yeah. Cole Campbell. I'm going to give Campbell a 4. I don't think he was very good today again. And I think it's time to bench him against South Africa. And then maybe we see how some of his, bring him on for the last 30 minutes, see how he does. But Cole Campbell, I thought he would look more effective against the French because of his speed. But once again, his decision making and his execution kind of let him down today.
I don't remember anything good from him the whole game. That's a problem because no, he worked hard. But that's the bare minimum. I'm giving him the same as Baudry, a 3.
Okay.
Because again, it's like everyone played well. Pretty much everyone, right, that we mentioned. And he didn't for the second consecutive game because he was not good against New Caledonia either.
Well,
and he's supposed to be our biggest attacking threat, supposedly.
Yeah. Speaking of people not playing well, I didn't think Peyton Miller was very good.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
forgot
giving
about
Peyton
it.
Miller a 4 as well.
I'll give him the same as Campbell, 3. I thought it was similar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was it for the starting lineup, right? Oh no, Taha Habrun.
He was
Your
good.
thoughts on Taha?
I thought he was good. Probably like a
Yeah,
7, 7.5. He was good.
I think 7 is fair. Yeah.
Also playing in a position and role that's not his main one, right? It was kind of like a false nine. Like, I thought it was good.
Now for the subs is where it gets interesting because for a lot of the subs they got goal contributions. Start with Zavier Gozo. Zavier Gozo.
You have
8
to
goal
give
and
him
assists.
you have to give him a 10 off the bench if you're going to do that.
It's true.
Change
It's
the
off
game.
the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 10.
Change the game. 10. Yeah, you're right. 20 minutes. What do you play? 25 minutes, something like that.
He got the win because we were struggling to score, and he got 2 goal contributions out of 3, so that's a 10.
Yeah. Luke Brennan got an assist for the opening goal, and it was a nice assist too. He was played in behind, good cross right on the head of
8.5, 8.5.
Yeah, 8.5 is fair for him. Anyone else that we're missing? Obviously there are. Zambrano.
He scored off the bench. Gotta give him like an 8.5 too.
Yeah, 8.5. Matthew Corcoran, I thought did a job when he came on, hustled, worked hard. I'll give him a 7.
Yeah, 6 or 7. Yeah.
7 for him. Did Noah Cobb come on?
No, he didn't.
No, he didn't come on, right? Oh,
No.
Reed Baker Whitting. Reed Baker Whitting was one.
It was late, right? 85th minute.
Very late. Yeah. Was there anyone else who came on earlier?
He came on when we scored.
Right before we scored, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Guys, help us out in the chat.
No, that's everyone. I checked. That's everyone.
Oh, that's everyone? Okay, so we didn't use all of our subs today. Then we definitely need to
no, that's
rotate.
everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subs. That's everyone.
Okay, good. 5 entries goes over. Okay, yeah. Good, guys. We did it. We got the win against France, and I think for the first time, maybe people will start to get excited about this Under-20 World Cup team after this result. Now, let's keep it going. I'm going to cover this game on Patreon tomorrow. Speaking of, quick promo video from Patreon for y'all.
Patreon is not only a great way to support the channel, it's filled with elite content I can't put out on YouTube. The top 10 that you see on YouTube every week, that's available on the Patreon with the actual clips from the game instead of just a sketched screenshot. After every USMNT game, I put a 20-minute breakdown of the game with my commentary and tactical insights, usually things I didn't always catch the first time around in the post-game stream. With the Under-17 and Under-20 World Cups coming up, I plan to do the same for these 2 tournaments just like I did last time. There's also extra content like young player scouting reports or all-touch comps from certain players of interest. Thanks to everybody who is already supporting the channel via Patreon. It really helps to keep me going and continuing to do what I do.
All right, so the description for that, or the link for that, is in the description below. I'm guessing you're not doing a 7 things we learned for this, right?
No, and I was gonna say, great way to support the channel is also to hit the like button.
So hit that like button too.
Yeah, just one thing to everyone, because this channel, if you guys remember, this channel from Pete was hacked, and he didn't have it for a while. When you hit the like button, YouTube sends the video to more people, and I'm sure when Pete was out for what, a month or 2, it was a while
2 months
that this channel was out. Some people might have forgotten about it or went to the old one. So if you hit the like button, YouTube will push it to more USMNT fans. So it's a great way to support the channel, is just getting the likes of this video up. And that's a way to support it for free. Now, if you can support it financially, great. But the free way is that one.
For sure. We'll keep an eye on the South Africa game, but I guess we just have to wait and see how many they beat New Caledonia by. That's it. You're not doing a U20 7 things we learned, right?
No.
Yeah, we're just going to stick to streams and post games. And the Patreon video, I'll break down some stuff from this game, but it won't be as long as the senior team.
I don't want to, the U20 World Cup, I want to enjoy it, root for the team, and I don't want to overanalyze it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing the reaction, we're talking about, I think senior team, you can actually analyze things that are happening. Here, you don't want to overanalyze. You don't want to overhype a player. You don't want to overly excessively shit on a player, give up on a player. You want to enjoy it, criticize, compliment, but not overanalyze the whole thing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button before you go. If you're new to the channel and you're excited about the World Cup next year, hit subscribe. Also, go to Tactical Manager TV, which is Tac's channel. You can hit subscribe there too, because we will be covering this team, well, all of American soccer, at least until the end of the 2026 World Cup. After that, all bets are off. We'll see what happens. But thanks for hanging, guys. Have a great one. Enjoy the upcoming weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.